Season 41 might be one of the most chaotic metas we've ever had. Most matches feel completely one-sided, especially if you don't know what's going on in the current meta. Even one of the best teams in the world felt the impact of the meta shift, showing what can happen when you fail to adapt. So in this video, we're going to discuss the current meta, which heroes you should be picking right now, and how to utilize them to solo carry your games. First of all, it's really interesting how almost any hero can work in this meta. We've seen some crazy picks at the EWC, like Rafaela mid lane, which surprisingly worked.
May sari-sariling meta yung mga teams ngayon. Wala talagang sinusunod na meta.
Yep, you heard what Kelra said, but there's one important thing he didn't mention, and that's how strong assassin junglers are in this meta. That's why we're starting with the most overpowered jungler right now, and currently the most banned hero in high rank, Hirara. It's funny how a lot of people underestimated Hirara on her release because they thought she had no damage, which is why she wasn't banned that often. But after players saw her dominate the pro scene and realized how strong she really was, her ban rate skyrocketed to the point where we can barely play her anymore. So what makes Hirara so overpowered? Number one is her incredibly low skill cooldowns. With a max cooldown reduction build, you can spam almost all of her skills, with each one having only a 3 to 4 second cooldown, giving her almost non-stop mobility and damage throughout the game. The fact that she can become untargetable and not once, but twice, with only around a 4-second cooldown by the 6-minute mark is absolutely terrifying. Combined with her multiple dashes, this gives Hirara insane outplay potential and makes her one of the scariest heroes to face. The most unfair part is that you can freely dive under turrets without worrying about dying, because her untargetable skill allows her to completely avoid turret shots. Not to mention, it also comes with a dash. Also, like Selena.
Hello, hello. Yeah, all that time, my mic was. My God, is that works now? Yeah, finally. Yeah, what I was saying that this hero has crazy mobility, crazy damage. Like she has all the skills by just taking one creep in the jungle. So that's what makes her crazy. And cooldowns, like the only possible decision that they can make is to up her cooldowns, but I feel like if they up the cooldowns too much, it's gonna make her unplayable at all. But if they up the cooldowns just for 1 second, for example, it doesn't change anything. So she still will be crazy. So this is like all or nothing hero. As always, if you have new hero, it's gonna be meta for some time, for like maybe a few months, and then she will be nerfed and unplayable, just like they did with Lucas. But Lucas now is pretty balanced, honestly. Solid pick in the jungle. But honestly, there's too much good junglers right now, so I don't see the reason to pick Lucas. Not maybe in some drafts, but not really.
Hirara has access to all 4 of her skills at
Doesn't
level
make
2,
that much sense.
allowing her to start ganking before the 1-minute mark. How insane is that for a jungler?
Also, Ador,
It's also a huge
what they
advantage.
did with Ador with this patch, but like they buff her like 3 patches at the row. Of course, she's crazy now.
Having double immobilized.
I just saw like footage how she was alone after tank and another meter, and she just spammed her skill and killed both of them. How's that even legal? I don't know.
which is one of the reasons why she works so well in solo rank, because she can create her own setup without relying too much on her teammates. But unlike other heroes, Hirara can be quite difficult to play in your first few games with her. So here are some important tips you need to know before playing
I'm
Hirara.
not willing to
Number 1,
learn how to
Hirara's
play
normal
Hirara.
1 to 2 dash is pretty short. However, if you don't use the joystick while using the skill, you'll be able to pass through much thicker walls. This lets you get to your desired position much faster, and in some situations, you can use it to pull off a surprise attack. Number 2, MLBB recommends leveling up skill 2 first, but by level 12, your skill 1 will still be stuck on a 9-second cooldown. That's why skill 1 should be your priority, so it becomes spammable early on, since skill 2's cooldown is fixed at 5
Everybody was
seconds, and
thinking
only its
that they need to up the second skill because it gives you the damage, like damage dealer's skill. But after playing some like games on this hero, you understand that you need the cooldowns. You will get that damage by your items.
damage increases with each level. So with max cooldown reduction, you can spam it
Too much
every
time
4
for
seconds
Hero.
instead of every
There's a
9
lot of
seconds.
super
And trust me, this is
unbalanced
also
heroes
what
in
the
this
pros do.
patch.
The next tip is to keep playing Hirara until you get the hang of her. You'll naturally get used to her skill cooldowns and what to use in every situation. In my case, I got used to her after 10 bloody games, and my win rate improved after that. In the early game, Hirara's double immobilize is great for securing easy kills, while her untargetable is better for 1v1s, but you need good timing for it to be effective. This is the item build I recommend for maximum cooldown reduction and damage, but you can change the last 2 items depending on the situation.
This is very bad
Oh,
build,
before I forget,
just because
this
he has Skype Piercer in it. That's like no, just no.
depending on the situation. Oh, before I forget, this is the combo you'll be using most of the time. First skill to close the gap, then 1-2 to immobilize the target, then skill 2, and finish with the 2-1. Next up is Ling, one of the most dominant heroes in both the pro scene and ranked match.
No, that's not true. Ling is pretty good, but everybody just forget about him in the tournaments. There was just a few picks of the Ling, actually.
Actually,
No need
Ling
to
has
hype up
received multiple
him
buffs in a
that
row,
much.
and the biggest one is the cooldown reduction on his skill 2, from 2.5 seconds to 2
It
seconds.
doesn't matter. This hero is too late. Like, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work like that. This game is about the start, anyways.
And we all know how powerful Ling's
It
skill
might
2
work
is,
in the
especially now
solo game, but in general, I don't think it like worth it. Anyways,
that you can use it much more often. Though that's not the main reason Ling became meta all of a sudden. The utility jungler nerfs are the real
It's not
indirect
meta.
buff for assassin junglers. Another thing that not many people noticed is that the gold reward from jungle camps was increased, which also benefits assassins since they reach their power spike much faster. The only downside of
That's
Ling
true.
is that he's heavily reliant on the purple buff, so the enemy roamer will try to disrupt your farm. So what you should do is take them down first, so they can't disrupt your farm anymore. Ling also has an untargetable
very
skill,
bad tip.
but compared to Hirara,
that's very
Ling's
bad tip. If right here, while he just jumps on him all the time, if their jungler was clever enough, he just go and take this buff. And on Link without blue buff, you're cooked. Like for first 2 minutes.
Ling also has an untargetable skill, but compared to Hirara,
And just imagine it was not Kaya, it was like immaTre, for example. Or so many reasons why you should not do that. You just should not.
Ling's ultimate has a much longer cooldown, almost 10 times longer.
What is that?
But since
This
Link,
Adora just seriously clicked
Link's ultimate
without
has a much
anything?
longer cooldown, almost 10 times longer.
What is this?
But since
epics?
Link can jump through walls and reach team fights much faster than Hirara, that's where he has the advantage. Also, Ling is much harder to master than Hirara, and relies more on mechanics, so if you're planning to
And
use him for
Open
grinding,
Angela. Okay.
I recommend playing at least 50
Sure,
to
bro.
100 games before taking him into ranked matches. The same goes for Fanny, as she's currently the best assassin in the
Oh.
meta. But don't be
She's
fooled
not
by
co-
that.
she
She might
always
be the
was.
best assassin.
She
But if you
always
don't know
was.
how to use her, or you're planning to master her, it's not going to work. No tutorial can make you good at carrying with Fanny. The best thing you can do
There
is
is
keep using her
there is tutorials, but it's like the most difficult hero in the game. Also, I do think it's probably one of the hardest heroes. Not even just about MLBB. I never, even at League of Legends, I didn't see that kind of heroes that like that much reliable on your micro skill.
over and over again until your hands develop muscle memory.
Just kind of crazy.
That's the only way to master her and be
Yeah,
able
but
to
she's
carry
very,
games
very
with Fanny.
strong,
So,
especially in
if
the
you want an
early game.
easier alternative, then Harley is your best choice. You don't have to force yourself to play Hirara, Ling, or Fanny if you're not comfortable with them. Harley can also
Harley's
do
good,
what they
he's
do
okay.
while being
Yeah,
much easier
I
to
agree.
play. He can pull off in and out burst plays.
He kind of fell off
Take
from
down the
meta.
backline.
I wouldn't say he's like super meta right now. I would say that, for example, he's at the level of Leomord, something like half meta. It's not. It's very easy to counter pick. Like you take almost every assassin counters him. But as long as you play versus noobs before like 100 or at least 50 stars, you're good. It's good hero before that. But after that,
With ease,
also he was picked. I think he was picked at the last championship, so it tells you something. He's good. He's good, but I just think that there's a lot of underrated junglers in this meta.
and be a threat all over the map, all without having to practice difficult combos or mechanics. Just 2-3-1, and that's it. What's even better is that Harley rarely gets banned anymore. Thanks to the
Yeah.
new meta picks, you can freely use him again. Harley is great against
That's
squishy
true.
backline heroes that you can
And
easily
also
die,
you have a few
and avoid picking him.
a few variations of how you build him. There is one build if you play versus a lot of assassins, for example. You build like half tank build, but it works only after like do not die from them, because that way you lose a lot of damage. Like full damage Harley is very strong. Like you can kill any squishy target for like 1 second, like literally.
If the enemy has too many tanky frontliners that can stop you from reaching the backline. You can skip Sky Piercer if you prefer, and adjust your last item based on the enemy team. Next,
What is this build? Again, Sky Piercer. Stop putting Sky Piercer in the guides, bro. Come on.
next is Lucas. Not an assassin, but he can definitely carry your games in solo rank. I know it's the assassin meta right now, but man, everyone is sleeping on Lucas. He's an absolute solo carry
Yeah.
monster who can hard carry games on his own.
That's kind
As a
of
matter
true,
of
but
fact, we got
there's a lot
completely
more-
demolished by the
a lot
Kimmy and
more
Estes
heroes.
combo
Why
in
you
this
pick
game.
him?
Yet I still found ways to make an impact and keep us in the game as Lucas. The
Also,
scoreboard
it's not
says it all.
Lucas, it's Naruto.
In fact, Lucas is now the 7th highest win rate hero over the past few days.
That
And he
doesn't
ranks
matter.
first among all junglers.
Come on now. A few seasons ago, Argus was the most the hero with the biggest win rate. Is that saying you that the Argus is super meta? No, doesn't say anything.
Since today's meta is so fast-paced,
As less popular hero, and then more win rate he has, usually, because for example Hanabi or Mia, the most popular heroes, so they cannot be there because there is just too much noobs playing on these heroes. Also, Lucas was nerfed horribly. Like you see that cooldown, second skill, 12 seconds. It used to be like 6 seconds or 8, something like that, when he was just released.
you get caught and you're dead. That's exactly where Lucas shines. So I'm really confused why he hasn't been picked at the ongoing EWC. It would be exciting to see him in action, especially now that teams are starting to draft more and more unique heroes.
I hope at this video he will say about my favorite jungler. not favored, but currently favored jungler is Vayne. He's not that fits meta, honestly, but he's always meta. Like, you can play him always. I remember my first main was Roger, but now he's just unplayable. Like, it's really hard to carry on him because he got a lot of nerfs. He was in meta around 1 year. He was playing gold line, even jungle. Like, he was absolute monster there, but now it's it's not playable anymore. So I just think Bane, like, no one touched Bane, and he's good as he is. Yes, he's a little bit late, but you can manage that.
The reason Lucas is so strong in today's solo rank meta is that he's tanky, durable, and has an anti-crowd control skill that makes him incredibly hard to lock down. But even with all that durability,
he has the strong
Lucas
start
still
of the
deals
game.
a massive amount of damage. He can even shred the current meta EXP laners.
Yeah, and showing
And
the
if you're
footage that he kills 8 level Esmeralda with almost 11 level himself. That's not proving anything, bro.
And if you're struggling because you keep getting matched against trios in solo rank, Lucas is one of the best answers. The only issue I see with Lucas is that once you start snowballing, don't get too overconfident and dive the enemy base. One bad fight can give the enemy a chance to come back, especially if you get careless. This is the build that works every time, and you can also
Now, this item right here, do you see? Do you even see? Oh, you don't see that. Wait a sec. This item right here, this one, not always. And this one, not always. And this one, not always. There's like, yes, this is strong build if you carry all the game like from the beginning. But if you not, then you should go emblems of um fighter emblems, and you do a lot more impact in the late because you can tank something. This kind of Lucas doesn't win late game ever. He never wins the late game because carry just damage more and he can't tank it any possible way with this build. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 attack like items. Yes, this right here also the attack item because it doesn't give you any magical or any other defense. It just gives you the way to get out of the fight.
use it in the XP lane. Just switch your talent to Festival of Blood, and you're good to go. Special mention
Good
to
to go
Nolan,
to
who's
15
becoming the
minutes of the
preferred
game.
alternative whenever the top meta
Nolan.
picks are banned. He recently received a decent buff to his energy regen, and it's one of the biggest reasons he's making a comeback in the current meta.
Yeah.
Let's see over the coming days if he becomes a more
always
contested
was
pick,
okay.
as
He
players
always
start
was
realizing
good.
how strong he is. Leomord and YSS are
Everybody's
both
looking
great
at him,
picks
yeah.
as well.
That's right.
Pick YSS when the enemy team has a lot of crowd control, and as for Leomord, he's an excellent choice when you need a hero that can keep up with and chase down assassins. Now for the mid laners, Eudora has become the strongest mage and one of the
That's
best
true.
answers to the assassin meta.
That also
Well,
used to
as
be
we all
my,
know,
main,
Eudora is one of the
so
scariest heroes for assassins because she can delete them with a single combo. And her latest
The
revamp made her
craziest thing
even
is
stronger
that
by
he
turning her
is not just can delete assassins. Now, with current Eudora, you can delete anybody. Like back in the day, she has 0 damage for tanks, but now this is the craziest thing that if you have enough farm, you can just erase the tanks on the mage, and way faster than Gord or anybody who is made to do damage for tanks. You build like 0 items versus tanks and you still can erase them.
skills into AoE effects, making her far more effective in team fights while still being able to instantly burst down priority targets. On top of that, her latest buff made her scarier in the early game, as she can now spam her skill 1 almost non-stop as early as the 1 minute mark. So she's no longer just a one-shot burst mage. Even without her ultimate, she can now still deal consistent damage. That's why even pro teams are prioritizing picking and banning her in the pro scene. A mage with burst damage and also
you know why
poke
he
type.
got that
That's
footage?
insane.
Because he
A
just
mage
died
with
from
burst damage,
Angela
instant
after
damage.
that.
That's why even
He
pro
just
teams are
died here.
prioritizing picking and banning her in the pro scene.
He died here.
A mage with burst damage and also a poke type. That's insane. The only thing she's lacking is a blink skill and faster wave clear. Then she'd be a god tier mage.
Yeah.
This hero is a priority
already
pick,
god tier
so you
mage.
can use her in almost any lineup. Here are the item and emblem builds that
The only lineup I'm comfortable for Eidora is Kadita, because she has anti-control on the first skill, and this just comes to whoever shot each other first. So yeah, but I like that this at this meta of assassins there's this kind of mage like Eidora that can just erase them. That's a good thing. That saves like a lot of games. But also she's always banned, so yeah. Again, bullshit build with Skypiercer. No thanks.
work best for her. And don't worry, Genius Wand and Divine Glaive work perfectly on Eudora. Even pro players combine these two items. Similar to Eudora, Kadita is also an excellent pick in the current meta. Kadita can also burst down targets with a single combo, although it's a bit slower than Eudora's. Kadita's biggest advantage over Eudora is her mobility. She also has a much more aggressive playstyle, since her skills require her to get up close to her targets. However, her skill 1 cooldown isn't as low as Eudora's, making her much more combo dependent. That also means you have fewer opportunities to make mistakes or waste your skills. She's a great pick against squishy heroes, but she struggles against heroes that can interrupt or prevent her combo burst, like immaTre, who can heal his allies and catch Kadita after she uses her combo. Next one is Selena, who's also extremely dangerous right now. Selena is really working well in this meta. Some teams even prioritize picking or banning her.
This is miss. She was picked, I think 0 times in this. Yeah, I'm sure 0 times, because she's not that strong current meta. Anyways, Selena is that kind of hero that you can just dominate if you know how to play. But there's just that few players that can actually carry on this hero that no, that's hard pass.
In the pro scene. But the problem is, Selena is much more technical compared to the other mages mentioned earlier. You really have to be not just good, but expert level on.
Yeah, and honestly, Selena is one of the most skill-based heroes in the game. Like, not fun, not like funny, obviously, but kinda. The hardest mage for sure.
Selena, because her effectiveness heavily depends on whether you can consistently land her abyssal arrows or not. But you can practice.
Honestly, and even that, even if you're good at Selena, there is still some games that you can't like catch everybody. And also she's very bad versus like mobile picks, like 3 assassins or 3 heroes that can easily dodge and 1 tank, so you have no targets to actually deal damage. And versus any other mage, if there is no catches for her second skill, you're just kind of useless. Not kind of, you're actually useless in the team at that point.
Her for around 20 games, and you'll be good, because Selena is much easier to learn compared to the assassins on this.
Are you crazy? 20 games? This guy is smoking something. I don't know. This is just not true.
This list. You can try the max cooldown build. More arrows mean more chances of landing one, and you can also use this build.
Okay, this is first okay. This is first okay build. Thank you. Finally, no Skypiercer. Thank you.
confident with Selena. And of course, Gord.
Gord?
He is still the #1 mage with the highest win rate over the past month.
Yeah.
Gord is great at shredding tanky front lines, so he's best against tanky lineups. However, he struggles against assassins, since he has to stand still while using his ultimate.
And
But
not
he's
on-
on this
on the
list
ultimate,
because
he
he's
has
great at
low,
clearing waves, making him
He has low mobility and yeah, don't pick Gord versus assassins.
extremely useful for crucial base defense. I mentioned that Gord isn't the ideal pick against assassins, but if you master positioning, skill aiming, and angles, he can carry
That's just not true. He cannot. He's just unplayable versus assassins. Okay?
games against almost any lineup. As you can see, we were really struggling in this game, but with Gord's insane wave clear, even I didn't expect us to make this comeback. And kudos to that godlike prediction by Guinevere. It's funny that I managed to defend against multiple end push attempts, so this game is living proof that Gord can carry in the most crucial moments.
Yeah, but
As lo-
honestly, this is like enemy's fault more. We just saw the footage; they all dive and die from the turret. So it's more like, they also put some effort to lose this game.
As long as your positioning is on point, he can still dominate, even against assassins and a Kufra.
What is
Now-
this team? This is like my basic team in the solo ranked. This is crazy. 2 bronze tiers and 1. What is this build? Okay. No, build is actually okay, but this guy is
Now, for gold laners, Melissa has become the #1 marksman in the meta over the past few weeks. You'll
I'll
often
say more. Melissa is one of the best heroes of this meta in general, if not the best.
see Melissa being banned or picked in
As a
competitive.
marksman, I'd say she's the best marksman, no cap. And the most important thing, you should build her at the full. Don't build her crits, and don't take the inspire. You should take only flicker or purity. Just at any other, just like any other ADC.
Play because of the multiple buffs she received, especially the cooldown reduction on her first skill. On top of
always
that,
was
the
good,
fighter
honestly.
emblem works really well on
I
Melissa.
I really
It gi-
think like, I'm sure like Melissa is the hero that I never lose. Like every time I pick Melissa, I win the game. I think it's the most. I have the most win rate on her and Bane. There's 2 heroes, but Bane is jungler, and honestly, in solo ranked for junglers now is tough time because if you lose at the beginning, you got invaded. You were cooked for the rest of the for 5 minutes at least till you maybe somehow manage to come back. So Melissa only built like
gives her enough
She was
sustain to
so
stay
good,
in
right?
lane, while also
Let's see.
helping her survive the heavy damage from meta tanks
if he,
like Beleric.
if he put critical build.
Oh, it's so
I'm gonna
hard to lane
push out.
against Melissa because of the emblem, fighter emblem.
Claude can also pick up fighter emblem and carry. What's the main difference?
The advantage of Melissa is poke.
You heard that right. Melissa is so strong in the laning phase with the fighter emblem
The
that
only
even Super
disadvantage of Melissa, especially in the tourneys, that anybody mobile enough can dodge her second skill. That always was the only reason why she is not meta. But now, when they reduced the first skill to nothing cooldown, of course she became meta because you have your dodge skill once in 3 seconds. Even if you play ranked before I think 50 stars, you have 2 seconds from the beginning of the game. That's crazy.
Marco had a hard time dealing with her. To counter Melissa, they picked Clint with the fighter emblem, and it worked. Even so, they continued banning Melissa after that match because of how strong she was. Just look at how broken Melissa is right now. She can dive straight into 5 enemies, and they won't even realize they're already dying, because her and Muddle's basic attack projectiles are so thin and hard to notice.
You should build her like that with Psych and this
Notice.
items.
I don't know what other collaboration skins Melissa will get in the future besides Jujutsu Kaisen,
Yeah.
but her current stats and overall kit are absolutely broken right now. Make sure to take advantage of her before everyone starts banning her in the coming days.
Already started.
You can try this item setup with Trinity build.
What is this? What is this? This guy is disappointing me throughout all the video. What is this? What is this? Inspire? On Melissa? Did this guy know that Inspire doesn't work for that build? And even in the Trinity build, it works only for 5 auto attacks. And this guy is one of the most popular in the English MLBB sphere. Really? 92k? Oh my god. 144k people watched that that thing. So they will take Inspire on Melissa.
And if you want more
Which
survivability,
doesn't
you can
even
replace
work
Inspire
with this build, like literally. Because if you didn't know, Inspire only works by when you have not reached your maximum attack speed. When you build when you have this build with these 3 items, you already have reached your maximum. You cannot increase it by Inspire. Even if you could, Inspire is still so useless, even on the critical build.
with Flicker or Purify. The next hero is Mia. And yes, you heard that right. I know you probably won't believe that Mia is on this list, but the meta has shifted
Mia's
toward
okay.
dark system picks.
That's true. Mia is okay. Especially
High
the...
damage marksman heroes with simple mechanics
Oh,
are
oh no.
dominating right
He-
now,
he is
especially
stopping
in solo
not
queue.
cracks.
In fact, Mia is now the 7th highest win rate hero in high rank. If the stats don't lie, she's
In the fact, he again showing the critical build on Mia, which is unplayable right now. I mean, it's not unplayable, but you have the opportunity to take the full attack speed build and erase all the tanks and everybody. Why would you build with the Inspire? Take Flick and take the full the build with Psych.
definitely one of the strongest picks in the current meta. And honestly, that's pretty scary.
You see how
So,
much time
I
he
don't-
needed to erase that Layla? With another build, it would be way easier. Just take the same build that you used for Melissa. Why did you decide to show us the critical build at Mia?
Want to
I don't
hear
get
or
it.
see anyone calling Mia a dark system pick in the comments anymore. But the next hero might surprise you even more. It's Hanabi, and she even got picked in an
Hanabi?
international tournament.
Yeah.
And the fact
And
that
they
it
even
worked against
won.
the champions of Indonesia in an elimination match proves that Hanabi is no longer just a dark system pick. She's a legitimate meta pick now. Let's be
No,
honest,
she's not
Hanabi's
meta
crowd
pick.
control immunity is one of the most
Let's be honest, Hanabi was only picked because Matilda, right? Because she has no mobility. So they pick Matilda and Hanabi. Because that makes only that way it makes sense to pick Hanabi.
overpowered abilities in the game. Because of that, heroes like Guinevere, Saber, and other heavy crowd control heroes have to think twice before using their stun. As long as Hanabi has her shield, she's immune to crowd control, making it feel like she have a BKB in Dota. Overall, I'd say the gold lane meta is in a really good spot right now. Heroes like
Yeah.
Brody, Leslie, Moskov, and Clint
Honestly, in gold lane right now, there is no ruin heroes. Like, who is the worst hero right now in the gold lane? I'd probably say Van. Yeah, unfortunately, she has no damage for tanks. Yeah. So, and loses almost every line or every lineup. So yeah, but even Brody now with this new meta critical build, it's crazy how much damage he deals. I saw footages people make like 3,000 damage from one basic attack. But Brody is harder to position in positioning. I agree. But anyways, right now there's only 1-1. It's kind of meh. But still, she's not like super ruin. She's like, it's okay, but why do you pick 1-1 if you have almost every other MM that's stronger than her? Even Layla, yes.
Can all work because the current meta gives a lot of marksmen a chance to shine. So for me, it all comes down to the player using the hero and how strong your jungle, mid, and roam trio are. For EXP laners, Guinevere is the best on our list because she can instantly lock down and delete one hero, which is exactly what this meta needs. And her
That's
second
not
skill.
true. The very good thing in Guinevere, because is that you can build in half tank build and make a lot of control, a lot of initiations. You can pick her X-Pline, you can pick her that way, you can pick her X-Pline, because if you pick full damage Guinevere in the X-Pline, you're ruining the game, straight up. Like, you cannot take the damage dealer in X-Pline. Let me just make it clear.
Plus flicker combo is
And
really
also she became playable in the jungle because of that not new, it's already not new build in the half tank.
unpredictable and can be game-changing when executed correctly. The EXP lane meta is actually divided into two. The first one is the solo carry type, the one that can take over and carry the game. These heroes are usually the main damage dealers of the team. The second one is the sustain meta.
Explain tier list. Let me take it straight. He put in the solo carry Benedetta. And after that, okay, it's just okay. I got it. It's just like what he thinks is like what this hero's for. Benedetta is not even close to solo carry. Like, you can carry on the Benedetta, but in general you cannot pick these heroes. Only Paquito, only because he's now hybrid build, has a hybrid build by the axe and other things, not full damage dealer. Arlott also, nobody built him full damage, only idiots, I guess. Freya also, but Freya, honestly, it's more pick for gold than exp, to be honest.
Where you already have an assassin jungler and your job is to soak damage, create space, and let your core carry the team.
Your work is always to take damage and X-Pline. You cannot be solo carry, egoist guy when you play X-Plane. You just cannot.
For roamers, we already have a video about them, so feel free to watch it after this video.
Let me see. Why fighter?
Critics are raving
and
about
then
host.
Melissa is broken. Let me see. Honestly, the fighter emblem in general on MM is broken. Not only for Melissa, for Moscow, for any MM that can possibly take the...
So I'm back again for another video, and this time we're going to talk about Melissa. Not many people have noticed it yet, but Melissa is currently the third highest win rate hero over the past month, and is becoming one of the most banned and picked gold lane heroes in the pro scene. So why is Melissa so strong right now? And why are pro players using fighter emblem on her? So first of all, Melissa is extremely effective in the current meta because of her second skill, which gives her incredibly strong early game poke. And with the help of Fighter Emblem and Quantum Charge, Melissa can easily sustain her lane while constantly poking the enemy, which is something that's really rare among marksmen right now. And I guess this Khalid knows that, which is why he's babysitting his gold.
That's why Clint also in the meta, not only because of that. But a big disadvantage of Clint that he is not doing damage to tanks that good like Melissa did.
Gold laner and trying really hard to take me down as early as possible so I can't snowball. But doing it against me is a big mistake.
Like if you click a move or what?
That was such a clutch. This is exactly why Quantum Charge and Fighter Emblem are so OP. If you've been watching Games of the Future or the recent EWC, you've probably noticed that most pro players are now running Fighter Emblem, whether they're playing Hanabi, Brody, or Clint. For those who didn't know, Fighter Emblem now has 10% hybrid lifesteal, which was originally
That's a lot of time ago.
meant for basic attack-focused fighters like Owlus. But marksmen are the ones benefiting the most from this buff. Hybrid lifesteal gives you sustain from both skills and basic attacks, so that extra 10% lifesteal is a huge help for marksmen. They can still build their core items while having fighter-like sustain at the same time. Use my ultimate, and the enemy still had no chance.
Because nobody followed.
Melissa can also easily take down
You saying it like you did something great, but nobody just followed that Balearic.
meta fighters and tanks like Belleric, which makes her even stronger, because she can deal with both assassins and tanky XP laners.
Monster kill.
Actually, they had a chance to make a
Yeah,
comeback.
and then I savage them. Of course. That's not true.
Actually, they had
That's, by the way, is the reason why you don't want to pick useless Inspire on the MM.
a chance to make a comeback here, but
Gather up the Lord.
But you have Inspire.
That was amazing.
they threw away their only chance to make a comeback.
You have slain an enemy.
So overall, Melissa with the Fighter Emblem
They
is
didn't check bars.
actually pretty scary right now. She's already pretty strong in solo rank, so I think she'll be even more solid in a coordinated trio
You see
or
that?
five-man
He didn't
team.
increase his speed. He didn't do anything by that Inspire. If he didn't use Inspire, nothing changed.
Especially in tournaments.
Literally useless.
Melissa still hasn't been banned yet, so while she's still open, make sure to pick her whenever you're playing gold lane. And that's it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next stream.